Oh my goodness. Hello, everyone. Jeremy, yes, first from Oregon. And there is a trophy that we will present to you at the end of the show. Pura Vida Juanpa, male 23, Costa Rica. Thank you for that. Puria, hello, dear. Jeremy, male 21, Oregon. Thank you for that. Psyche, first. Were you dreaming, Psyche? You just woke up? It's the fourth one from the top. Jeremy got the trophy today, Psyche. Jack, Colonel, how you doing? Good to see you. And Jeremy, yeah, that's right. Jeremy's claiming his position against Psyche. Hello, Emmanuel. Hello, Sherry. Sherry asks, where are you? I ask, who are you? So, Sherry, what happened to the gender, age, and where you're tuning in from? And I assure you, I will let you know where we are. And Sankey says, sir, I was just watching how the Modi, Prime Minister of India in US, and Trump is playing his election card. Trump might be an unstable leader, but still somehow I think he's not that bad. Yeah, because you're not living here. If you were living in the United States, then you would share the sentiments of many Americans who are residing and under such situations. Puria says, Puria says, Mehran, you once said when men show interest to a girl, the girl loses interest in the guy. Not necessarily. Some. If the girl is not the right match, and if the girl doesn't have enough confidence, and if they simply are not, of compatible version of each other, or compatible character to each other. And he continues, says, so what exactly should we do to show interest? No, you do exactly what you do, what you feel like, as far as it's been appropriate and respectful and gentlemanly behavior. But having said that, you show your interest when it's time and when it's appropriate, when you guys know each other enough, and there is no need to shy away from it. And if there was an interest, great, you will know. If there wasn't, well, you got to know that too. Otherwise, you don't want to spin your wheel for what? So no worries. And it's only the ones who are not compatible will lose interest. And if they do lose interest, that means they're not your type. They're not strong. They're not confident. They're just looking to feel good by stringing people along, but not necessarily genuinely interested in a relationship. And you got to know that. How can you know that if you never let out your feelings? So it is very good at the right time to show the interest, and you'll see if it's worth going further or not. And Emmanuel says, male 27, Boston. Puria says, to be honest, I have tons of questions tonight. Oh, well, you better hurry up because I only can be here maximum 1 hour. It's been a rather busy few past days, and today also I've got lots on my agenda that I need to accomplish for my clients, and at the same time, different clients, different business, and at the same time for things that I have to attend to. When I visit my mom, there are things I got to do before I go there. So a little bit limited time. Got to see a couple of clients before that as well. So Sankey says, yes, sir. I agree. Let's see what Americans decide. Yeah. Honestly, Sankey, I want to keep this program positive, and I really don't want to um, um, bring its quality to a negative tone by talking about Trump and people like that. So, so if you don't mind, let's stick to what we are here to do, which is talking about thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, relationships, breakup, the movement of mind, relationship between mind and body, and mind and body coordination, relationship between our energy and energy of the universe, nature, and how we can negotiate our daily life in a more positive and focused way than we are conditioned to. Thank you, Sankey. I appreciate that. Emmanuel says, Mehran, do you have brothers and sisters? If so, do they know about this channel? Yes, I do. I do have one brother and one sister, and I don't know if they know about this channel. They live different places, and and we go to Jeremy. Jeremy says, I'm going to be listening to the live, at the same time as getting spring water. You mean you can drink and listen and watch at the same time? That's a very big accomplishment, Jeremy. You should patent that ability, because we all are looking for some extraordinary abilities. Yeah, so go get your spring water. Sherry says, nice to see you. Female 33, Sri Lanka. Aha! There we go, Sherry. Thank you for that. Sherry is a female, 33 years old, 33 years young, and from Sri Lanka. And we are here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. To be exact, West Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Sherry. And thank you for being here. We're delighted that you could join us. And we have Sankey says, what happened to your head, sir? There's a red patch. There's a red patch? Oh, here you mean. Oh, I see. I thought I'm missing my head in the frame. Okay, no, nothing happened to my head. I like to put, aloe vera is a plant that you can eat, and it's very healthy for skin and for eating, for all kinds of nutrients that it has. And I buy it from Whole Food here. They have it in many places. It's called the Lily of the Desert. And I've been using that forever, just for health. I eat it, or I use it for if there's a burn on the skin, sunburn, or any burn maybe in the kitchen. And I also put it on my hair instead of putting cream or any chemical stuff, because this aloe vera is so healthy for the skin and everywhere, and also it can act as a good gel. But it dries, and no smell, no greasy thing, no nothing. It's just very clean. And so, and when you do it, apply it to your skin, it actually creates circulation, and it gets that area red for about 15 minutes or so, and then it goes away. So it's just, I guess it's rejuvenating all the cells and circulation in that area. That's why it's very good for healing. If there's some pain or some soreness or some bruises or some burn, it heals, and it's an amazing thing. So that's what it is. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it looks spooky. Yeah. Puria says, Mom is thinking too much about afterlife. Isn't that interesting, guys? We always think about things that hasn't happened, things that we don't much focus on the things that are here, we know and we are involved in, but we constantly think this is not good enough. We go further to something that hasn't even happened, hasn't even come around. It's not even its time, but we worry about something that doesn't exist at the moment, but we neglect what actually does exist at the moment. So we miss the now at the, we focus on the future at the expense of missing the now. So we're constantly preparing for something that we haven't even encountered yet, may never encounter for a long time, and we miss the opportunity to be involved with the present moment, the actuality of life. And I think that's what your mom is doing. And Puria says she recently lost her dad and keeps thinking about what happens after death. She's not here, but I will translate your video to her. Yes, you have my video about that very thing. There was a client of mine in somewhere in the States, and he had lost his mom. So that was like a few years back. And then I made a video for him about death in the family. So if you search on the search engine of my channel, something to the to the tune of death in the family, that video should show up. It's a long video, I think about maybe 30 minutes or so, or 25 something. And he goes through a little bit of explanation of that, that might be of some help to her. She wants to know where her dad is today. Well, I discussed this subject a few times before, and that's a question one asks, especially when a loved one is passed. And it is hard to think that we are here for nothing. So there must be something more than this, because it would make sense for us to come here, do our best in whatever it is that we love and we want to contribute to the world, to learn, to be experienced, to be weatherized, to be informed, and train ourselves, research about things, learn it, and then to give it all up and just poof. It doesn't make sense. The universe, with all its speciality and detail and amazing opportunities, amazing organization, amazing logic and chaos at the same time for its creation, it doesn't make sense that after all that meticulous, amazing creations, the idea the birds fly on their own, they just learned that from the beginning. The idea of a seed of a tree turning into some humongous plant that gives fruits, and then we eat the fruit, the nutritions that are in the fruit. All these is a little bit too sophisticated for it to have been just for no reason and being there just by accident. And everything is made out of energy, right? And we know that energy doesn't die, it just changes its form to something else. Electrical energy, when you can create heat with the electricity, but it's electrical energy, then changes to heat. The chemical energy changes to heat, or changes its characteristics, but it never dies. The energy simply changes its characteristics. We all read that when we were in high school, I guess, if I remember it correctly. So we are also made out of energy, aren't we? We discussed that. Mind and body, and the mind is connected to the universal energy, and what facilitates our livelihood is nothing but energy. I mean, what do you think? You get up vigorous and with lots of energy, and then you go through your day and do your things. And even if you don't go out and exert your energy and you sit on the couch and watch TV all day, at the end of the day, in the afternoon, you feel a bit exhausted. You're not as fresh, energetic as you were in the morning when you woke up. Why is that? Because there's something that facilitates your livelihood, something that you're using as a fuel, and that's the energy. So when it runs out, what happens that when you sleep in the morning, you're filled up again? What happens when you're sleeping? Obviously, there is amount of energy that your mind enters into a certain frequency when you sleep, automatically is ready to accept and absorb the same energy that all along through the day passes through the universe, but you're not absorbing them as much. You're not trained to absorb them, but you're automatically capable to absorbing them when you sleep. The mind enters into a frequency that accepts that frequency of the universe when it's transforming, when it's transmitting energy. So you get up, you're vigorous. During the day, whether you do something or not, you lose that energy and you charge up again. So there is a certain kind of rhythm into our lives, and we're connected to the universe with its energy. So we are really pretty much the mind and the energy that is being helped by the body to move along and learn more stuff. Why is all that for? To eventually die and finish? That's silly waste of energy, waste of time, waste of everything. So I think there's a purpose to all that, and the purpose, I think, would be for us to come here to experience things through our personal lives and personal experiences and learning. We, being connected to the universe, enlighten the universe as a whole. We are tentacles of the universe. So each one of us have a role in here. Whatever that we learn, when we die, that learned thing doesn't die. It reverts back to the Akashic library. It reverts back to add to the wisdom of the universe, so the universe can expand in a more perfect way as it evolves, as everything evolves. And we are part of the universe. At the same time, universe expands and evolves through us and our learning. So in fact, we are part of the universe. We are what universe is. So we are all connected, and our energy is representing us. Our whatever we learned is through transmitted and recorded through energy. So when we die, that energy, which is us, doesn't die. Our entity that is holding that energy, the vessel that is holding the charge, like the battery, that vessel cannot hold charge anymore, but the charge itself is still available. Look, you have a toy, it has a battery. You put the battery in and the toy works. The battery runs out, you put it on the charger. You keep doing that. Put the battery back in the toy, toy works. It runs out of the battery, you charge the battery. Eventually, this vessel that keeps the charge to put in the battery doesn't work anymore. In other words, cannot accept the charge. Only the battery cannot accept the charge, but the charge is still available in the wall. The charge doesn't die. The energy doesn't die. The vessel can't hold it. So the same thing. My energy won't die. Only my vessel cannot replenish the energy when I sleep at night anymore, at a certain age. But that charge that has always been in connection and exchanging with the universal charge is one and the same. It comes through me, and whatever I learn, it also goes back to it as one. So I never really die in that way. Because whatever I learn has been added to the universal wisdom. And whatever you learn is added to the universal wisdom. And all that is what we are. So in fact, we are expanding and we are not dying. So when we die, I think our vessel dies, our body, which is pretty much not us, it's just the apparatus to help us move around. But what we are, the consciousness, the energy, consciousness, that energy is reverting back and constantly communicating back and forth and is part of the whole. And that doesn't die. So I don't believe Our loved ones are gone. They're not. They're just not in that shape anymore. That's what I mean. Anyhow, let's move on to next thing. This could be a little bit of a conversation, long conversation, possibly. And so, Masters 284 says, hello from UK, 3 months into breakup with children. She's accused me of all sorts of bad things, all lies, and I feel like I have to prove that they're lies to everyone. Your video here really helped. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Don't forget, Masters 284, let me know your age, if you will, and her age, and you don't have to prove anything. What you need to prove is just to yourself. Continue to be a great father to your children. Do not abandon them, of course. Do not let them to be only with the mother. They will have to be with their mother, and they will have to be with their father. So be the best father you can. Make as much accomplishments as you can in your life. Provide for the kids. Always, do whatever you can to make sure the kids have a good life, finances, and help the mother if you can. And she will eventually shut her mouth if she's lying about you here and there, when she sees that you don't really pay attention to it, and you're just simply a great father, and you're helpful to her even with her evilness or her lack of respect to the father of her children, and trying to badmouth him. Eventually she will come around, and she will see that regardless of what she's doing, you're steady as you go, strong strides, and you're making money and helping the kids and helping her even when she is in trouble somehow. But don't try to get back with her. Just do your best to be a great father and build your life and have a productive and supportive life and attitude toward your children and even your ex, and she will eventually see that she has made an error in representing you the way she has, because her intention really is to cover up her own shortcomings, and because she can't do that, she needs to put you down to bring the focus to something you have done to justify whatever the hell it is that she's done now. And because she can't do it, she's focused on that. So don't worry about it. You just be who you are. Be a great father to your kids, and make good money if you can, as much as possibly you can, of course in legal ways, and take care of the kids, spend time with them, quality time, and play with them, do homework with them, do everything you got to do that's coming from your heart. You love your kids, and because you love your kids, you also respect your ex-wife. Regardless of what she says, what she does, you be the man, and you support what it is needed for the children to have the best environment for whatever has happened in their lives, which they were not the ones who made that decision to be in that situation. Joshua King, male 23, Ireland, says, hi Mehran, I spoke with you before, been a month or two since my ex left, but is it in feeling sad? Are you saying, oh, I say, why is it I am? It's not in, you mean I am instead of, when you guys shorten these things, sometimes it goes haywire. Why is it I'm feeling sad still over her and feeling like I won't meet another beautiful girl like that again? Because you're nuts. The idea of thinking there is only one beautiful girl and there's no more and nobody else, it's just nonsense. It's just the way it is. At age 23, you have no understanding of what amazing stuff in the future could happen, good or bad. And you're focused on the past because the past is the known. And whatever is known to you makes you feel comfortable. Whatever is unknown to you makes you feel it will never be. But because something that you are not aware of and you cannot see it, doesn't mean that it will never happen or you will never encounter it. It's like saying we've been having sunny days for the past, few days, and you say, well, I don't see any rain. I don't think rain will ever come. Well, you think that way because in the past few days it's been sunny. Let's say there's no weather bureau. They're wrong anyhow most of the time. But so just because you're not aware of something, that doesn't mean it will not happen. You see, people believe what they know or what they can see. Well, you can't see the girls lining up for you, and you can't see the girls somehow that they're waiting for you, and you don't know that you will meet that certain beautiful girl in the future. And because you can't see it and you don't know it, you don't believe it. Because people believe what they can see and what they know. And you neither know or nor you can see, therefore you don't believe. That's why you feel that way. But just because you don't know, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Did anybody know how the world's going to be today when it was 50 years ago? No. But it turned out the shit that it is today. Because little by little, we missed all the important things that we were supposed to focus on. And did anybody know that the world would advance to this level 50 years ago? No, we didn't know how advanced in medicine and everything else we will be. But we did, didn't we? So just because something you don't know or you don't see doesn't mean that it won't be the way that it is not right now. So you are just simply thinking, oh, because I like this girl, and that because I know this girl, then what I know is the only thing that exists. So you think because I know this girl, therefore I think that's the only pretty girl that would like me, and because there's nobody else that likes me now, then I think there's nobody else will ever be. That's your way of thinking, which is totally wrong. There is something called continuation. And if you knew whatever is going to be happening on this path journey of life, then that would be the end of your life. It's not the beginning, but it's the beginning. There's so many things on this path that you don't know. Just walk it. Just let it pass. Let it come and show itself to you. You will cross all these opportunities while you're taking this journey on your path. Just don't be impatient and don't judge it as that's how it's going to be because that's how it is now. Well, that's silly, isn't it? Is that how you looked like 20 years ago? You were 3 years old 20 years ago. But you look totally different capabilities, different understanding, different abilities, yeah? So things change. But you didn't know then. Same thing here. Did you know you're going to meet this girl before you met her? No, you didn't. So why didn't you say, oh, I'll never meet a beautiful girl? But you did, didn't you? But at the time that you hadn't met her, you didn't know and you hadn't seen the girl. But later on, you saw the girl and you became boyfriend, girlfriends. So what you don't know doesn't mean it won't happen. What you don't see doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I don't see $1 million over there somewhere, but doesn't mean that just because I don't see it, there's no $1 million anywhere. There are. I just don't know about it. I don't have it, right? All right, I hope you get the gist of it. So let's move on to Jeremy. Jeremy says, I'm driving to Spring in a moment. I'm driving to the spring in a moment. Oh, I see. You're driving to a spring. I thought you were going to get to your fridge and get a spring water. I said, what? So Petite Man says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Petite Man. Delighted that you received. Remember, guys, Petite Man purchased an ebook from the site. And as I mentioned, the site takes your money, and then when you want to download, it might have an error. some devices have no error, everything goes through perfectly, and some devices will not be able to download. And Petit Man wrote me, as I ask you, if you encounter such a thing, just simply write me an email, and from the site, or however you know my email, and then I'll quickly, when I see it, send you the books that you have purchased by email right away. And so there is no worries about that until I get my um, uh, friend and specialist on the programming to take a look at it and see why this link is broken and why does it work some places and some other. And maybe it's because it doesn't have an extension to tell the computer, the device, what program it should use to download it. But I will ask the expert to handle and deal with it and see what the problem is. In the meantime, don't worry, continue going on the site and do take the books that you like, and then if there was a problem, email me and quickly I will send you the links, or actually the actual book, not the links, the actual book by email, which is very easy. Emmanuel says, last week a girl who has slowly become my friend at my workplace asked me if I was looking for a girlfriend. And I said yes. And she asked me what kind. She asked me if I would be okay with a ghetto or a gangster girl. Why would she ask that? Just ask her. Ask her, what do you mean? Are you joking? Why would I want to be with a gangster girl? I'm looking for a, stable, lawful, law-abiding, normal, healthy people. Why should I be focused on someone who's mentally sick joining some kind of a illegal organization, or people who have malice in their mind, or they don't have the best interest of the society in their mind? Why? But I think she's just kidding around with you. Like, she's probably meaning, do you want a girl who's like a little bit, I don't know, different? Just ask her. Hip hop and the rap instrument. SKC says, hi again, I hope you're well. Thank you very much, SKC. Glad you're here. Puria says, I wish I lived in another country rather than Iran. I get 1/3 of what you say, since tons of disconnections happens during the lifetime. Oh, really? Too bad. But I always upload them. Actually, yesterday's upload, I forgot to click on the public. So, so Master 284 says, it's all cycles. The trees give us air, and then when we die, the trees and earth consume us. Everything is energy and is connected. Okay, yeah. Just one moment, guys. All right. So we have Skazy is talking to Petit Man, and I have Chris. Hello, Mehran. Hello, Chris. Petit Man is talking to SKZ. Okay, well explained, Mehran. Love how you broke it down in detail. Okay, great. Master 284 is 36, she's 32. Okay. Yeah. How long have you been married? 7 years? Might be 7 years, no? Furia says, Mehran, for the last 4 years, I was busy studying like hell. And I think it's going to be the same for the next 7 years. You know how Persian parents are. They think children need nothing but books. Yeah, I know. I know. But I had a trick when I was when I was in high school. I loved aircrafts, and I loved flying aircrafts, model aircrafts. And my father's friends were Air Force generals and so on. And so there was a club that called Air Force Club that was for kids to go in, learn about engines, learn about how to make aircrafts, and it would be all small pieces. You had to cut them carefully with the X-Acto knife and then put them together according to the plan, piece by piece. It would take God knows months, and you would glue them properly and then eventually put the covering paper on it and then dope the paper. Was something called dope. It was like a certain kind of a gluish thing to put so the paper would be tight and aerodynamically polished. And then you would mount the engine, and then you would try it, and then you'd also go do parachuting things. That was the club. So I belonged to one of those clubs, and I always liked to build those things, and they're addictive because you just wanted to see it come together. But of course, I had to study, and my room, I had a desk, and then I had my books there, and I would put the platform that I would build these aircrafts on, and I would put that whole platform on top of my books, and I would have the door of the cupboards of my desk open, which is down here. I'm sitting here, and I've my books here and my aircraft platform thinking on top of it, so I'm busy with that. And the door of my cupboard is open right down here below, beside my feet. And the door of my room is also open, and I'm supposed to be studying. So as soon as my mother I could hear her steps coming through, or my dad, I would just put this, boom, boom, put it down and close it, and I'm on the books, because the books are right underneath it. And I'm just looking at the books. The books are open. And so if they come and check, they'll see, okay, I'm doing the book. As soon as they go, I'll just take this thing, put up there, and start doing my aircraft. But my mom was more strict than my father. My father was very reasonable, acceptable I do my best. So it wasn't, the grades were not that critical. The fact that I'm making the effort and getting passing grade was good enough. Because I liked the sports. I was into equestrian, horseback riding and things. So it wasn't that strict, but yeah, the pressure was there, and I didn't comply to that. I did my best, but that's all I could do. I wasn't like an A student or anything like that. Nothing close. But I was okay. There were things that I was really good at. There were things that I wasn't, and so that's the way it goes. So, Master 284 says, thank you very much, you're welcome. Puria says, but I don't know how to get it. Oh, he says, I need love, in fact. He says, but I don't know how to get it. I tried being nice towards like 7 ladies. None was a victory. They will be. They will be. It's a little bit restrictive in Iran, maybe. And so too many expect, just as, parents expect the boy to study all the time and all that. And I expect the girl to the same. But also for girls, parents expect her not to go out, or if it's some kind of an occasion, the guy must be this or that or whatever. It's too many labyrinths to go through. So you just focus on your life and accomplish what you're set out to accomplish, finish your studies. In the meantime, you are bound to run into some girl that you like and she likes you. So don't fret it too much and don't push it too much. Just do your things. That part will happen, will just happen into your life. You don't have to look for it. It happens even if you're not looking. You will see later on, when you get older, you will see so many different opportunities came along when you were not even actually focusing on it. But they happen. It's the river of the life. It's the way of the river. Life moves and things happen and different situations and junctures are met. So merges with the flow of your life and you will have the experience. And it says, no, Victory, I've been a bad guy for 5 ladies and all interested in me. Oh, you've been a bad guy for they're interested in you. Thing is, I do not want to be a bad person. Oh, don't be a bad person. No. Joshua King says, I totally understand. There's lots of beautiful girls, but I feel like I can't hit another one. Thanks for the advice. You will. You may feel, but whatever you feel doesn't mean it's going to be true. So you don't feel you can meet one, but you will. Or you feel that, oh, you're going to be, that girl is going to like you and she might not. So don't really be too hung up on your feelings. It could be right, it could be wrong. Just do your best, live your life, and let things fall, as they may. And let the nature take its course. You'll be okay. Puya says, whenever I'm typing something for you, I have this feeling that you heard the same thing from others or 1,000 times. Yeah, possibly, but that doesn't matter. It happens. Nigel Gilmore says, boof. I don't know what that's supposed to stand for, but that's what he says. John Ice says, hello, I'm male 34, France. Bonjour. Comment ça va aujourd'hui? And I saw my ex in her car. Uh-huh. I smiled to her and she played with her hair. The same night, I got 2 missed private calls from her. I know 100% it was her. I'm 13 younger than her, by the way. I'm sorry, are you 13 or you're 13 years younger than her? Oh, yeah, you're 34. Okay, all right. So she is 47. All right. So what's the point here? Why are you so hung up on her? She's 13 years older than you. You're 34 years old. She's 43. 43 years old woman is great and amazing, but not for you. You're supposed to be going out with girls that are 26, 28, 30, 36, 34, that range. And the 43-year-old woman, as amazing and great as she is, she wouldn't be able to be compatible with you. Your expectations would be different because we are looking for a little bit longer than a few months having sex and intimacy. We're talking about bonding on consciousness level and finding compatibility on experiences of life and expectations of future. Her expectations at that juncture of her life is different than your expectations at this juncture of your life. So I find it waste of your time and waste of her time. It just won't happen. If she's coming after you, it is rather short-sightedness of her, because obviously she's only looking for intimacy and sex. Otherwise, if she's really looking for a relationship, she should know by now that her expectations of life and future and lifestyle and uh, stage of flow of life is going to be totally different than yours is. So what is she going to offer you, and what does she think that you can offer her? It's like both of you are playing a wonderful instrument of music, but totally different tunes and different notes and different music. It's not compatible. You may be good at what you do, but together you guys will stink. So it's not an orchestra, it's not a duo. It's going to be a disaster if you guys play together in your instrument. So singularly, you're perfectly fine, either one of you. Together, you're a disaster. So I suggest, doesn't matter what she does, plays with her hair or plays with her shoes or whatever the hell she does, calls you, just move on, because that is not the right combination. And her intention for being with you definitely is and must be totally different than your intention looking for a girlfriend. You're in a different stage of life, so you should be realistic about that. You look for a girl which would be more compatible to your thinking and expectations and stage of the journey of life, and let her do the same. Jiggy female 35. And location, Jiggy, what happened? You short selling me, short changing me on the information. Female 35, where? Gigi says, fiance told me to kill myself. Well, fuck him, and used all of my insecurities to hurt me. The hell with him then. He's an asshole if he has said something like that. I don't believe in myself or dream anymore. You should, because your dreams and your aspirations, your capabilities, your opportunities has nothing to do with him. He's just another human entity, gets up in the morning, shits in his toilet, has to have some tea or coffee, and puts his pants on and go out look for it. He's no god. He's nothing special. He's just making you feel that you are nothing so he can feel big. Otherwise, he has no capability to be big. This is what his way of trying to accomplish something, which is really accomplishing nothing. And you, don't be so naive and immature, believing in such nonsense. You're a woman, 35-year-old, at the best time of your life. Take good care of yourself, attend to your duties and responsibilities, and be the girl that you want to be, independent of anybody's opinion, and the hell with everybody else who wants to stand in front of you. You just go on and complete whatever it is that you've set out to complete. And move on from this guy. Any negative energy, you should shun it and move away from. And it says, and don't feel I can be successful in my dreams work. How do I pick up the pieces? There are no pieces to pick up. Those pieces you do not pick up. You let them be where they are, because that's not you. That's an idea put into your head and you are buying into it. Simply leave all those ideas there where they belong, in the gutter, in the street, in the pile of shit, and move on free and clear and happy and as wonderful as you are, because no matter what and who says, it doesn't do a damn thing to you. It's only an idea, suggestion that comes to your mind and gives you the illusion that you're not capable. But in fact, you're the same capable person if you were associating with someone positive and someone amazing. And regardless of who they are, it doesn't change you. Whether they're amazingly positive, whether they're stupidly negative like this guy, you're still you. It cannot change you. It just changes your idea about you, which you need to leave that on the gutter and believe in yourself and move on and accomplish whatever the hell it is that you want to accomplish. And you can. But stay away from these negative assholes. All right. Move on to Keith Waller. Keith says, I'm from Norwich, UK. Hello, Keith. We were in an 8-year relationship. I'm 53. My partner is 54. We ended the relationship for months later. 4 months. What? 4 months or 4 months later? Is it 4? Is it F-O-R? F-O-U-R or F-O-R? We ended the relationship 4 months later. Oh, I guess you say you end the relationship and 4 months later, F-O-U-R, she is in a new relationship. Okay, with a new guy. Would that be classed as a rebound? No, it would be classed as stupid. Because you're 54, she's 53. She's having a great deal and great age difference and great guy, obviously, that you still like her and, you know, been with her for 8 years. And she's going through some kind of an weird stage of her life, which represent to you she's not balanced. Because honestly, if you have been a decent guy and you guys been together for 8 years and she's 53 and she just want to switch ship right now, she doesn't have her values and priorities figured out, because it's a trade-off. What are you missing? What are you gaining? You're losing an 8-year relationship with probably has some roots to itself. I don't know what the quality has been, but obviously she's losing that stability and that commitment and venturing out to some risky thing with a new guy at age 53. I don't think that's a sound way of making a decision. So she doesn't really know how long that's going to last. And if that lasts another year or so, or a couple of years, she's going to be like about 55. And then she wants to start another one, and she has lost you with a established 8 years solid relationship. That's doesn't seem to me she's hitting on all 8 cylinders at the moment. So don't worry, move on. You're still great and young, and you are 53, and you look for, I don't know, someone in her 45, 40, and you'll have a great future with her. Move on. Don't waste your time. She makes her own decision, and she's entitled to that, and you make yours. There's only 10 of us here, and I'm amazed. However, I want to remind you guys that we have over 1,500 videos on this channel, so anything you feel, you type in on the search engine of my channel, and you're bound to get 1 or 2 or 10 or 20 videos on that topic. We talk about things to do with relationships, breakups, whatever you think after breakup, there's probably a video on it here. And anything to do with thoughts, consciousness, the relationship between the two, fear, what is fear, how is it born, desire, pleasure, the relationship between the two, how does desire born, how to stop it, ego, what is ego, and the role of all these in the day-to-day negotiation of our life is discussed here. And there's a playlist called the Psyche, which has all these things and nothing to do with the breakups, but has to do with the movement of the mind, and perhaps you want to check it out. If you guys wish to talk to me on Skype for a more detailed and private consultation, you may go to my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com, and click on Talk to Mehran via Skype, make an appointment, and I will be glad to discuss your issues and explore it together. Of course, there are other support material on the site, such as the package that is called the Ultimate Breakup Cure, and that has different perks in it that you can take a look on the site. And of course, you can write me an email for a nominal fee about your situation if you can't afford the Skype talk, and I will record a 5 or 8 minutes recording and try to email it back to you. So let's get back to what we're doing here, and we have Bennett Motombeni. I hope I didn't butcher the name. And by the way, don't forget to like the live stream if you like, and like the videos that you watch, and please promote the channel however you can, and help us to grow and be recognized by the YouTube algorithm. We desperately need it before we can be forgotten that we even exist. It's hard to be recognized by the YouTube algorithm. However, Bennett says, male 36, South Africa. Hello, Bennett. Says, Mehran, just want to say that your channel has helped me greatly. Thank you very much for your videos and knowledge. Your blessing. And thank you very much, Bennett, for letting us know and sharing this wonderful feedback. And I appreciate it. I'm delighted that the channel has been helpful to you. And thank you for support. Puria says, I can spend the whole day listening to Mehran's memories of his childhood. Okay, yeah, I know. Maybe I should eventually venture out and write a book on that, because there's so much to say, and I know because I lived it. However, let's fry the fish that we have right now. The books that we have on my site, if you want to purchase them, by all means, they're great information in there. Especially, I highly recommend the book Me, My Psyche, and I. Me, My Psyche, and I. These books are not cheap. However, the shipping is included anywhere in the world, and I will sign it and write something for you in it. And if you can't afford it, but you still want to have it, well, I have listened to you guys and invested and turned all the books into ebooks as well. So the same thing that is $100 or $80, you can buy it for $8 or $7. And on the same site, mindthatseekstruth.com. You will see the options, and might as well go ahead and purchase the Mind That Seeks Truth books, all available on my site and easily downloaded. And if you had any problem with download, drop me a note and I will quickly send you the books via email. Now, having plugged all that, I'm out of breath. So, so much plugging. Puria says, you are so my mom. You are so my mom while giving me advice. You're confusing the hell out of me, aren't you? So my mom while giving me advice about meeting a dream girl when I'm done studying. Perhaps there's a like there. It says, you're so like my mom. Well, am I? Last I looked, I had a mustache. So Pewek says, Mehran forever. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you very much for that. And Petite Man says, Puria, yeah man, lol, Mehran has a very interesting childhood. Oh, thank you guys. And Petite Man says, Mehran, I'm going to sleep now. Bye. Okay, dear. Thank you very much. It is probably 9 or 10 in UK. I think that's where you are. And it's time for you guys to maybe hit the sack. So maybe I should also finish it up and get on with my other things, which I really need to attend to. So let me see if I can quickly go through the questions. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Gigi says, Florida. And thank you. You're welcome. Lara Clover says, good evening, Mehran. Good evening, Lara. Says, I'm writing from Paris. Oh, Paris. Are you on Champs-Élysées? Bonjour, mademoiselle, or bonsoir. Comment ça va aujourd'hui? I hope that you're well, and thank you very much for joining us. And Lara says, I have a tough time moving on after my boyfriend broke up with me 4 months ago. Well, that's normal. Everybody would have a little bit of a surprise and adjustment period. And she continues, we met during our expat experience in China. Laura, before we go further, help me out. Your age and his age. Quickly, so when I go through it, I can actually figure out things that I need to figure out. So if you wouldn't mind, I'll go to another question. I'll come back to you right away so I can use the time. Oh, there she goes. Lara says 31 years old and he is 29. Aha. Aha. All right. You know the mistake you made right away, didn't you? I'm not saying right or wrong, but that's how it is. Sometimes boys are infatuated with the older girls, and then at a certain time it gets into their head that, oh, well, maybe because she's older, she's going to have more authority in the relationship, and she won't be considering me serious because I'm younger than her, and that starts a thinking, and then eventually he starts focusing on the history of relationships and comes to understanding that maybe it's better if I have someone that I am older than her rather than she's older than me, so I could have that position of authority. I'm the man, you know, all that stuff that is stereotype, or it is the way it's been. And there is a little merit to it too, in a way, not just because of the man's point of view, also the women themselves most often prefer their boyfriend to be older than them, or their husband to be older than them, so they have that kind of a illusional hierarchy of organization of what they have traditionally been conditioned to think that's the way it should be. Right or wrong, that's not what we're discussing, just the way the mind has been conditioned. So you yourself, you know that you would have preferred, given the same character, the same guy, the same personality, the same everything that you might like, you would have preferred if he would have been like 35, older than you, rather than you older than him. And it could work the same way in his mind. So let's continue. And she says we met during our expat experience in China. He came back last October, a year ago, and broke up with me 3 months before I was coming back to France to join him. So let me get this straight. You're French, and he's French. You both went to China for some course, event, experience, and you were together. You met there, and you were together. I don't know how long you guys were there. And then he came back in October last year, a year from now, year before, about the same time. And 3 months before you get back to France from China, he broke up with you, that you were going to join him in France. Are you French? Can you give me a little bit more info, dear? I just don't want to, be in the dark a little bit. And Laura says, haha, more mature, I guess, to know what he wants. Yes. Yes, we are both French, and I came back 1 month ago. Aha, okay, so it's very... So he came back last year, October, and for about a year you've been apart, like a long-distance relationship. And 3 months ago, before you came back, which is 4 months ago, because it's a month you came back, he broke up with you. So about 9 months, 8 to 9 months, you guys were on long-distance relationship. Is that correct? So what the hell do you think he's been doing this past 8-9 months? Long-distance relationship is the shits. It never works. Because you guys think that it's all about... It's a balance between mind and body in a relationship. But when you're in a long-distance relationship, you are feeding the mind, but you're never feeding the body, and you have your urges, and men or women would like their partner to be nearby to go have tea, coffee, I don't know, sports outing, cinema, just, hold hands and stuff like that. So that eventually gets in the way. So that could be a problem. And Laura says, but saw each other every 3 months. He called all the time. What do you mean saw each other every 3 months? Like he came to China and came back, or you came to France and you went back to China? Nevertheless, 3 months is a long time by itself. In one of those 3 months, when you say we saw each other, what, on Skype, or actually? Okay, there we go. Now I'm getting it out. I gotta pull the teeth out of you for this information. This is how can I get? Throw me the info, give me the bone. No, throw me the bone, give me the info. Sorry, slip of the tongue. So, anyhow, 3 months or 5 months separation, that by itself is enough to ruin a relationship. 3 months is a bloody long time. Even if you guys can endure it, the mind doesn't have that patience. And because it doesn't have the patience, even though it's perfectly capable to wait 3 months to see each other and be intimate, or hold each other and whatnot, which is a necessity part of the relationship, but the mind feels like, oh, I gotta wait another 3 months, and gives up and starts looking for something that is nearby, even though maybe not the same quality. So the problem obviously is that, and at the same time, that is a test when it's not working. But all of these, we are human beings. There is no test that it could mean forever. Everybody is dynamically changing their consciousness. We are limited human beings with our pathetic needs and so on, which you may just start looking around when you think, oh, I need this, I worth it, I must have a better life, and he thinks the same way, you think the same way, and one of you fucks up and goes out and finds somebody else and then breaks up with the other one, thinking that, and then later on might change his mind, but it's too late. So let's get back to your book here. Says, after almost 2 years of relationship, I just feel it is all a huge waste. So now it's 2 years, because you didn't tell me when you guys actually met. All right, 2 years, all right. And obviously then you left to China 2 years ago. Okay. After almost 2 years of relationship, I just felt it is all a huge waste. Yes, but at the time you didn't know it's waste, so you can't stop venturing on something just because it might not go well, and then later on you will think it was a waste, so let's don't start at all. If that was the case, none of us would be here right now anymore at all. The 40,000 years ago, humanity would just give up, say, well, it's a long way to have indoor plumbing, so might as well just don't worry about it, and let's just not advance and not invent anything. No, you can't do that. You gotta do what you feel at that moment, reasonably, logically, and then if it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, well, you learn from it and you go on. And you had to fill that time anyhow. So some things do work out, some things don't work out. It's like inventing something. A relationship is like inventing something. You invent something, you make the prototype, and you try to see if it works, and it may flop after a year of working on the design. And you learn from it and try to do other things, and it may work. Relationship the same. You go through all the motions, you create something, you build something, and you'll see it doesn't fly. Eventually it just gets grounded, and then so you learn something about yourself and about the possible selection process that was mistaken, and then you will learn from it and go on. And you cannot expect to know what you know now 2 years ago, and you can't expect to know what you know 2 years from now. So it's normal. You got to go through what it is that seems logical at the time and do your best. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, well, that's how it is. Nobody has given a guarantee that whenever I start reading a book, I understand it, or whenever I start inventing something, it will be exactly as marketable as I thought, or function the way I thought. On relationships, the same. But we still gotta try. Mind you, it's like saying, you know, I don't know if I'm going to be cooking, what I'm going to be cooking is going to be delicious or not, so might as well let me just don't cook. Well, you don't cook, you get hungry. You stay hungry, you remain hungry. You have nothing to eat. But you gotta try cooking, and then you will see, oh, too salty or not enough salt, and next cooking will be better and better and better. But you can't not cook just because it might turn out shit. It's possible. I'll become a better cook. And now. So it's after 2 years relationship, I just feel it is all a huge waste, and that long distance killed us. He said I wasn't the woman of his life. Oh, the hell with him then. Okay. He reached out lately because he knew I was back. Well, too bad. Don't give him anything. And he says, I answered coldly as I am working a great deal on myself to move on. I feel he didn't like my answer. Well, it doesn't matter what he likes or he doesn't. He's not entitled to get an answer that he's looking for after his nonsense. So he lasted for a certain amount of time, and the last three stretch of the journey, last 3 months of it, he messed up. But the fact is, he may have just let you know when it was close for your return, but he might have actually been messed up long time ago. And maybe he's in a relationship with somebody else long time ago. And now that it was close for you to come, he told you that he is breaking up with you because it couldn't be, you would have found out anyhow. So there is no telling that it's only this last 3 months that he changed his mind. He might have changed his mind 3 months after he arrived last year. And he's been, maybe, I don't know, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. Maybe I'm mistaken because I don't have enough information. Maybe he's coming to meet you every 3 months, but when he stopped coming, maybe he had met someone else. And there is usually, possibly they meet someone else, the girl or the boy, they meet somebody else before they break up with somebody else. But in this case, it is possible that after going back and forth and he realized maybe you guys are not compatible, which either way doesn't matter. If one of you think the other one is not compatible, that means neither one of you are suitable for the other one. But what you have to focus is nothing has diminished from you. You're still the same person, as great and wonderful as ever. It just so happens that this particular product that you've purchased is not functioning as it should. So that's the time to send it for repair, or just send it back to the manufacturer. So tell him, okay, thank you very much, have a nice day, bonsoir. And so tell him, dégage, il y a pas de pain ici. Maybe that would be a good answer. When he reaches out, say, dégage, il y a pas de pain ici. So let's see what else she has said. And Laura says, yes, but we had a deadline with my arrival. We knew we would be together and we both believed in us. Okay, but not now. Laura says, haha, thank you. Yes, all right, good, my pleasure. You guys know that always I'm available on Skype. If you want to explore things, a thing or two with me personally and privately on Skype, we can, and we'll explore your situations and your issues together, and we'll get to the bottom of it in that way. Purya says, do people need others to be happy? I prefer you be happy before you need others. In other words, solve the happiness things, make an independent situation for your happiness make your happiness to be independent and not dependent on anything or anybody else, and then find friends or relationships. And don't allow relationships or friends to be the reason for your happiness, because then you'll be dependent on them, and they're human beings as well, and they could go up and down and change their minds and go through challenges in life, and that would put a damper on your freedom to know how to be happy all the time, and instead you will be hanging on to their mood and their decisions, because your happiness would have been dependent on their interaction with you. And Jeremy says, what stops us from being consistent with a daily routine to achieve goals? Your own mind. That's all. Your own mind, your fears, your anxieties, your impatience, and your haste. I want it now. I'm entitled. I want it now. Why should I have to work hard for it? No, just keep on doing. Put your nose to the grindstone and keep on doing. It will eventually get you where you want to go. I hope that would be a quick and short answer for a big question. And Sophia says, hello Mehran, it's Sophia. Hello dear. So how are you doing this lovely Sunday afternoon? I'm doing good as fast as I can, because I want to finish our streaming, because I got a ton of things to do before the end of the day, and I think I'm almost there, which is true. I've hit all the questions. And Lara says, your videos are great. Continue. Merci beaucoup, chérie. And I hope that you will be enjoying the videos, and everybody else would have something to gain from watching this channel, which is my hope. And that's why I do what I do. And Jeremy says, thanks for answering my question, Mehran. You're quite welcome, Jeremy. And Puria says, thank you so much, Mehran. It's past my bedtime, so good night, sir. Good night to you. And Jeremy says, would awesome to see you talk live. Yes, I look forward to that, because that would be the first time I would see myself talking live rather than a reflection of me here. And Lara says, when will be the next streaming session? Lara, next streaming session would be next Friday. So during the week, I leave you guys alone to do whatever it is you have to do. And I will hopefully join you next Friday or Saturday, or both. That's the plan. But in the meantime, again, you can always reach me through Skype, and go on my site, mind@6truth.com, and see if you would like to talk to me. And for the time being, for every 1 hour appointment, I will add 1 more hour to it. So you will have 2 hours, so which is a pretty good opportunity, and long enough to hash out things and situations. And Laura says, it's good to see you to avoid Sunday night blues. Okay. Okay, guys, I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and giving me the opportunity to talk about a thing or two with you, and I look forward to see you again. In the meantime, please be good to yourself and to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Au revoir.